just, speaking to the mic as much as possible.
Check.
You good? Check.
Hello.
All right, we recording? All right, man. Let's bring it in. MIC Podcast, episode 72. Community content, I believe, and you get it all here. I have another dope guest in the building, man. A creator, an event coordinator, an artist. Just the overall creative dude, a real dope dude. Beez is in the fucking building, man. We're shaking, bro.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely,
you,
bro.
Glad to be here.
Nah, man. Thanks for coming through, man. This is, bro, because when I initially met you, Mike was performing at one of your events. So we had that listening, just for the artists, and I was in no. Actually, met you at the Pittsburgh Festival. Yeah. I am Pittsburgh. My fault. Yeah, I am Pittsburgh Festival, and that was when we initially first chopped it up, and I didn't know that you were an artist, and I heard that you were doing all these dope paintings and all that shit. So I'm like all right. Met you at the listening joint again. Chopped it up there, and I just always thought you were an interesting dude, and I want to sit down and chop it up with you more. So I'm glad we can finally sit down and have a dialogue, bro. It's good to have you.
Likewise, man.
Yeah, man.
I was actually talking to Charlotte about you and how we all met and whatnot, and telling her how talented you are as well, and one of the first times I was I really oh, I need to hone in on him. Was the listening part. After watching your guys' video, I was like, oh wow, because I didn't know what you did. I thought you were just a friend of his. Obviously you are, but
facts.
I didn't know you guys were partners. So
Yeah.
I was like, man, this dude is talented.
No, I appreciate you, man.
Funny.
I appreciate you, man.
First time, we're yo, these guys are special, and even after the show, I'm yo, these are people I want to continue to collaborate with,
absolutely,
and build with, because your guys' energy is just pure. And, you can sense that, and it's very genuine, and you can kind of you can peep that off rip with people. So
that's what I'm saying, bro.
Either they're not, or they have a hidden agenda, or
exactly,
bad intentions, but never felt that with y'all, and so I it goes cool.
Yeah, nah, for real. So I know you're all settled in Pittsburgh now, but you're originally from Ohio, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And what part of Ohio?
I always say Cleveland area, because nobody really knows where the hell where it's at. But I'm from Lorain, Ohio.
Okay, got you.
It's
all right.
Right off the coast of Lake Erie.
How'd you feel when Joakim Noah was talking shit about Cleveland that one time? He said, "Yo, no one wants to go to Cleveland for vacation," type shit. Were Ohioans mad about that, or what was up with that? Ohioites? I
don't know if I seen that.
Yeah, bro. It was
I'd imagine they were pretty pissed off.
Nah, bro. I think it was Chicago lost to Cleveland or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe they won and he was talking shit too. I forget, but he just said something I don't know who says I'm going to Cleveland for vacation, some type shit.
Remember seeing that.
Yeah. How did Ohio take that?
They could probably partly agree with it, but being from Ohio, we're die.
Yeah, nah. You gotta defend the castle, bro.
I'm very fortunate to be from Ohio, honestly.
Bro, and you know what I'm even kind of seeing, just as of late, just more personally, just there's a lot of talent just kind of coming out of Ohio. I mean, same with Pittsburgh, obviously, but it's I don't think Ohio was really one of those places where people think that that's a creative hub. You know what I mean? The obviously got the Cavaliers and stuff like that. So it has a sports team, so it has a culture around that. But as far as creativity, I know Machine Gun Kelly's out of Ohio. Isn't Tanner's from Ohio too, right?
Yes, from Cleveland.
Yeah, bro,
yeah.
and dumped. I'm what the fuck going on in Cleveland? What the hell? You feel me? So I mean, bro, just what was it growing up in Ohio? What's the creative scene out there? Just from your perspective.
And there really wasn't any. I had family that were artists, but never really did anything with it, and a good bit of majority of my friends that I grew up with were creative, but again didn't really do anything with it. And I realized early on that I had a talent, a gift, really,
right,
an ability to look at something and just be able to put that on paper, and just however I could. So
how old were you when you realized that, you think?
Early age. I, I remember all the way back in preschool.
Damn.
My teacher, she had like a friend come in to visit and come like just talk with us and whatnot, and like each student one by one went to their table and like had a little like meeting with her and whatnot. And I remember like I don't know what or why my teacher, Miss Margie, she like one of the first things she said, she's like, this is Brandon. He's gonna be a famous artist one day. And like, that
Damn.
was before I even like really like
In preschool, this was. Damn,
like
that's crazy.
preschool, and like she was like, draw something. And I drew something very generic, just like a beach scene. And, but I did it quick, and they were like very impressed by that. But like she saw it then, and like I obviously being really young, didn't really realize it. But I learned very early on like I had something, and I was able to create throughout my life, like at an early age, but it stopped when I got into middle school. That's when I became like an athlete, and like I transitioned into that. And like
What sport you play?
Everything, like baseball, basketball, football, and ran track.
Oh damn, yeah, you were everywhere, bro. Yeah,
always on go after playing football. Like I had like that hunger and like love for competition and just like challenges, like another challenge. And so I did that, all the way up until high school. And it wasn't till my senior year where I picked up the pen or pencil again.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had a few classes that challenged my creativity. I took a photography class and an intro to design, graphic design. And if it wasn't for my teacher, Miss Golsky,
dog,
like shout out Miss Golsky,
bro. And like I was even gonna say, cause like even like the preschool teachers that like you mentioned, man, like shout out like to like the teachers that like I don't know, that just kind of unlocked that like little spark, like you know what I mean? Cause like a lot of not a lot, but like she couldn't have like brought any light to that fact that like that you had like an aptitude for that at like such a young age. Like she could have just like not even really known something, but like the fact that like she was like, yo, like this dude's in preschool and he just drew like a whole beach scene in like 2 minutes because I asked him to, and like it's like that can like that you just even set you on a trajectory that like you may not even have known.
That seed.
Yeah, bro. So like that's just like super like important, man. Like just as far as like teachers go to like build that genuine or like just like see the the vision for like a kid, man. Like that's huge.
It is, honestly, and I hope she sees this one day. And also,
no, she will, bro. I'm sure she will. But she's gonna be like, "Yo, is that that's Brandon, bro?" Like, yeah, okay, word, that makes sense, cause
my teacher in high school, Miss Golsky, she was the design and photography teacher.
Okay.
She sat me down one day and like if it wasn't for her, like Miss Margie was obviously the one that planted that seed.
Like
Miss Golsky was the one that like kind of threw that water
made you made you hone in on that, like
sprout up, because she's like, listen, like she sat me down. It was just like me and her, and like in that time frame, like my senior year, I was really like I was all over the place. Like so, I was again an athlete, throughout high school, and it started going downhill. Like I lived with my friend, like I was in and out of like family homes and like living with different people and whatnot. So like my vision was blurry. Like, I really didn't know what I was going to do in my life. I knew I was like talented and I was able to excel at really anything I could like put my mind to, but I didn't have no vision or drive. And my influences, they played a factor. Like I was just doing just reckless stuff, and like she saw that, like she could see it in my character, because like I also had her my freshman year for like an intro to the typing or something like that. And so like it obviously changed throughout those years, but she's seen it. She was like, listen, you need to get your shit together. Like, just told me straight up, just like that. I was like,
that's what you need sometimes.
Like she's like, I don't think you really understand or realize how talented you are. And like you need to hone in on that. She's like, why don't you apply to some art schools? And because even at that time, like school wasn't gonna be for me. Like going to like a normal
you like
university.
knew it just wasn't gonna
I knew it just wasn't gonna work. It's just like knowing like how I learned and just how I am. Like,
but even knowing that like is a jewel in itself, just like so like you don't waste your time, money, effort, you know what I mean? So
and so I was nah, she's like gassing me up. She just
Yeah,
wants me to, like,
facts.
pass her class or whatever.
Type shit. Right.
But I was like, you know what, let me show them what I can do. So in my other art class, I forget what it was called, but I was able to do pretty much any project I wanted because I had passed all of like the previous art classes. Um, so I just decided to do a portrait of this artist. His name was Rari, and I did this chalk pastel of him.
Rory,
And
like the rapper, okay,
yeah,
Rory,
you
okay,
familiar with
yeah,
Rari?
yeah, bro, that's crazy. Damn, that's hard. Okay,
Yeah, not too many people know about
yeah,
him.
yeah,
But I was listening to him heavy at that time.
facts.
I did a portrait of him, and I entered it into like the county like art show or art contest or something like that, and surprisingly I got second place out of like the whole county. So that's what like really
Was it still
like,
in Ohio, or was did you were you out here?
this
for
was in
that?
Ohio. Yeah.
Okay,
That
wow,
was
okay.
my senior year, and after that I was like, okay, maybe I should like pursue this.
Yeah,
and, like,
do something with it.
yeah. So I started to take myself serious that around that time. And
So and you even mentioned this because some of like the homies that like you around the we're creative, we're talented, they weren't doing anything with it. Like, what do you think even separated you from them as far as that goes? Like, just like the fact that you acted on it like a bit more, or like was it just like like a different factor?
yeah, like after I had made that switch with myself, like my determination, and my drive and just will to succeed. Just I knew like I was meant to do something greater, and I've always felt that from like a young age. Like I always saw things differently, and I've always observed and listened, and a lot of like my friends were older as well, so I kind of just like learned a lot early, and just like went through a lot of stuff as a child. At an early age, so it like kind of forced me to grow up. So I always like felt like I was different from everyone else, and I moved a lot. Like I went to probably over 10 different schools.
Damn.
Lived in like over, I don't know, probably like 20 different houses. Like lived with people. People lived with us. Our family was, I wouldn't say dirt poor, but we didn't really have that much.
Or figuring it
so-
out, yeah.
But like then I think those seeds were also planted, like, and it gave me like
Perspective.
as to like what
Just
I
from like
didn't
different
want.
places to live. Yeah.
Like, what I
Facts.
didn't want, what works, what doesn't work, what it takes to have a functioning home, and like a loving family, like, and that's honestly why like I am the way I am today, because like I was fortunate to have such a big family that like I was always able to like
Family oriented.
lean on this person or talk to this one, and or like if I needed to escape from home, like there was always somebody I could call to like to leave. So I'm really like fortunate for that. And so yeah, to answer your question, I think it was just more or less like my determination to like succeed.
Yeah.
And do anything I could to just make it happen by any means.
I feel that. So when did you finally like settle down in Pittsburgh?
After I graduated.
Okay.
I applied to like 4 art colleges, and I got the first one was Full Sail.
Okay.
And that was just dumb expensive. It was like over $100,000 just to attend, and it's like, yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. I applied to Colorado, the Art Institute of Colorado.
Okay.
The Columbus School of Arts or something like that.
Okay.
And then the Art Institute of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Colorado was the one that I heard back from first, and I got an acceptance letter. Got this like big gold package. Like it was like really.
That's hard.
Really dope, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember when I got it, like started crying.
I was like, yeah, I think all my envelopes should be gold.
Yeah.
Moving forward, like,
it was really dope. And I remember getting that and just like reflecting, like, damn, I'm gonna be the first one in my family to go to college.
That's crazy though. Yeah,
the
that's
first
crazy.
one to graduate as well.
That's wild.
Yeah. And what's really crazy is so I got accepted into Colorado. I was gonna move. I was like, I'm
out.
I'm about to leave.
Facts.
But then I got a call from Pittsburgh, and they're like, "Hey, we've been trying to get in contact with you. Would you like to tour, the school, and come out here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So it's crazy because my my mom's godmother's son lived out here.
Okay.
And he went to the Art Institute as well.
Okay.
He's from where I'm from. So him and his wife, they, I was fortunate to, for them to, like, they came and picked me up and brought me out here and showed me around. And first place they took me to was Mount Washington.
Okay.
And it was a summer day, and it was just beautiful.
Fire,
Like
yeah.
I was honestly like culture shocked. Like,
Dog, that's what, like, bro, the nice
crazy.
days in Pittsburgh, bro, they can go pound for pound with any good day, like, in any other city.
It's like no other,
it's
really.
crazy,
Yeah.
bro. Like, you catch a nice day, like a 70, 75 day, the sun is out, like, you get that view from out. You're just like, am I in LA? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like, this shit
I
is
thought
crazy.
I was in a different country or something.
Honestly,
like,
bro.
I had no idea, because being from Ohio, the Cleveland Pittsburgh rivalry, like, it was embedded.
Yeah.
Early on,
You're like, I shouldn't even be on this mountain
right
now. Yeah.
like it was like, screw Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
like,
right.
So I had no idea what it even looked like. So once I finally came out here and I stood on that platform, and the Art Institute at that time was in the city. I remember looking in the city like, my school was down there. Like, yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah,
like,
word.
I'm
Yeah.
coming out here.
Okay,
Like,
wow. So like, it was actually like, coming here to like kind of solidify. Bro, like you and I are like similar in that regard, man. Cause like when I was, just kind of debating on like, my next move before I moved out here, Mike was like, yo, just, come out here for like a week, see how you like it, bro. And that week was just like, it just made too much sense to move out here, bro.
Right.
So yeah, man. Yeah. So like, I definitely feel you in that regard. So you accept, the offer from Pittsburgh, which is, I mean, cause like when they said they were trying to get in contact with you, like, were you like missing their calls, like missing their emails?
I think it was
or some
the
shit?
emails.
Okay, yeah, okay, like you weren't catching them.
Emails. It's crazy too. So when I went to the Art Institute, they there was a lot of, like, my first 2 years, great. I loved it. It was downtown. The building that we were in, like, each floor was a different major.
Oh, that's fire.
So, like,
okay,
the whole floor just had a different vibe.
that's fire.
And like every day, like, going there, it just really felt like I was
Going home type shit.
Yeah, and also like changing the world. Like, it starts here. Like, creatives, like every major company or any business, really, there's any successful business, there's a creative mastermind behind it.
Absolutely.
So I always felt like I'm going to change the world.
It made you feel like you like made the right decision type shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And shit hit the fan when I started to get comfortable. Got got into a groove.
Just like as far as what you think, just like maybe the routine at college, or like just
no,
like
I mean,
all like the extra stuff.
No, I mean with like the school itself.
Okay.
They shut down. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh damn, no,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So first signs were, so I stayed with my mom's godbrother for a while, for like my first year or so. That second year, I moved downtown into the student housing.
Okay.
And after being there for like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 months, they were like, our lease is up, so we got to move you guys.
Damn.
So they moved us into Oak Hill, and that was when I got my first apartment. Like, we all lived in like apartments.
Oh shit! You lived at Oak Hill? Oh yeah, cause you still work at Oak Hill. That's
Really?
crazy. Yeah. That's good. That's wild.
I loved it, honestly. Like, it was pretty dope. And again, it was my first apartment. I had only one roommate, and he was barely there, so it was like I had the whole place to myself. But we were there for only like, again, like probably like 5 or 6 months, and then they were like, student housing is closing indefinitely, so you got to find a place to move.
Oh
like,
shit, that would indefinitely be crazy. Like yeah, like,
so like
indefinitely. So like it's like you're set on this decision. Like
like, it was weird. Like,
yeah.
Like, how? Like, you got, like, you're at a school. Like,
right. What do you mean? Yeah. I go here. Like, yeah, what you talking about?
They shut that down.
Yeah.
And then the lease was up for the building downtown. So
wow,
we
that's
moved
crazy.
buildings as well. We moved from, this tall building to this, I think it was like probably like 10 floors.
So they were just throwing you in disarray.
Yeah, like going in circles, yo. So it went from that to going to like a 2-floor school, and it in the Strip District.
Okay.
And it felt so weird. Like,
just fucked up your experience. Yeah.
Like there was no art on the walls. It was just like very bland, And then when I realized like shit was really gonna hit the fan was when the dean just randomly stepped down, packed his stuff, and left.
Oh, that's
Like
crazy.
literally just left.
It's
And
like,
I'm
yeah, no, y'all got it. I'm out.
Yeah,
y'all
like-
got it. Peace. Thank you.
yeah, good luck. And we had a meeting, and you know we were able to like express like our feelings and our thoughts and everything, and the staff even was like in the dark. Like nobody knew what was going to happen next, but we knew something was coming.
That nigga was laundering money, and like it's like, yo, no, the walls is closing in,
For
and I
real,
gotta bounce.
like, they were still accepting students at that time too. So like the last week even of me going there, and it was my senior year too. So like with the Art Institute, they were on like a faster schedule. So like all of my classes were 4 hours each.
Damn.
Our like summer break, you know, like compared to like most schools, I want to say like get like what like a few months.
Yeah, facts.
Like,
probably like 3 months.
Yeah, like 3 months. We got 3 weeks.
That's
So-
not even like I'm not even rocking with that,
Oh,
bro.
man.
Like 3 weeks is crazy.
Yeah,
like, that's
so
nuts.
That's why I was gonna be able to graduate in 3 instead of 4.
Got you.
and get,
Okay.
you know, my back.
Because like they like try to like I guess condense it because like 4-hour classes, bro. It's just like
Bruh.
what are we doing here, bro?
Oh
Like,
man. Well, like a good bit of them were doable. Well, not. I don't want to say doable. I don't
you were
wanna
able
say
to like adapt to it.
Yeah, because they were
Ultimately.
art classes.
Yeah,
so
right,
like,
right.
It was something like I enjoyed.
Right.
But like when we had like our gen ed classes, like
Dog,
every class 4 hours. That
4-hour gen eds is crazy.
It w-
4-hour gen eds is I don't know, niggas is learning about botany or some shit for 4 hours. Like I don't even.
Dude.
This is not. I'm not gonna do nothing with this. Not gonna do nothing with this at all. Like
for real. Like I don't know how I got through it.
for
but
real.
I did, man, and it sucked.
Nah, bro. Like nah, they just threw you through like dumb loops. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like. So when you chose graphic design, like did you choose it like because you were just trying to monetize, like just like being like a painter, just like immediately, or was it just kind of like I'm trying to find an outlet similar to painting? Like I'm looking, I'll go, okay, boom, graphic design. Like let me just see what's in that for me.
I actually didn't even know what graphic design was
crazy.
going into it.
That's wild.
And it wasn't even my first major. My first major was media arts and animation.
Oh, okay.
And I chose that because of the illustration portion of it, and being able to create like that. But I realized soon, like very early on, like that was not for me. Like just doing the same drawing over and over and over again, just slightly different, it wasn't fun. So I switched out after my first year, and it was actually this girl that was in my class. I remember sitting next to her, and she had like these concepts on like in her notebook that I just happened to like randomly see, and I was like, what's that for? And she's like, oh, I'm like in graphic design, blah blah blah. And if it wasn't for me seeing that and
You
her
never
telling me
even-
about it,
Wow.
then I mean I don't know if I still would have chose it, but I was also going to lean into photography. It's like when I was in high school, like I said, I took like that photography
Facts.
class, and that's where I like really felt free, going on shoots, exploring, and like having models to shoot, and just like I always saw
Being
things
comfortable, like,
different
yeah,
as
like,
well, and
okay.
I wanted to capture that and cement it in time. So yeah, I was going to pick that, but like before I picked it, I remember calling my dad, and like I didn't even like think about it prior to that, but I remember being on the phone with him, and I'm like, because he was asking me what I'm gonna do. I was like, I think I'm gonna do graphic design. Like it was like no questions asked.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It
I
just
think that's
came
what's
out,
right for
and
me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also felt like if I would have did photography, it would have kind of like stunted my growth.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because it's like very one dimensional.
Yeah, right.
Like you can get creative with it,
Exactly,
but like not
right.
how I'm trying to create.
Mhm.
So, yeah, after that, that's when I went into it.
Dog, okay, yeah, because like I thought like you maybe had like a predisposition to be like, okay, like boom, I'm gonna get in graphic design, but that's crazy how that's even how you found out about that. And it, bro, like it's funny, bro, because when I was in college, bro, like I did this like student radio, and like I didn't even know that like we had that, but I was drunk on the bus, cause just like going home one night, and I met the manager of like that whole program on the bus, and he's like, yo, bro, like come down, this is when we like air, and that doesn't. Bro, like if I didn't meet him, like again, that outlet, I never would have, even known about it, come across it. Like, who knows where that would have. So
It was a blessing in disguise.
dog, for real though, man. And like it just sounds like you have like a lot of those moments, just like with you, bro. So when you how did like the opportunity with Dix, come into play, like?
So it was I think I took off like so actually, let me backtrack a little bit because I got my bachelor's, but it wasn't from the Art Institute, obviously.
Okay.
It closed, but I transferred to Chatham.
Okay.
I spent a year there to finish
Okay, so like
out.
they made you finish it out. Okay,
Yeah,
in Chatham.
so
Okay, I got you. All
after
right.
going there, and which again a blessing in disguise because I learned so much there and like got to be a part of a university without having to spend all that time there,
Mhm.
like the 4 full years. And I also knew then like damn, like I definitely would have made it. Like so I was fortunate just to go for that 1 year, get that experience. And the Art Institute, like there was really no like student life.
Mhm.
Like it was really just like work. Like go in, do what you gotta do. People left. That was it. There was really no like after school activities or sports or like even a gym, So like going to Chatham really expanded on that. And,
Okay.
I met a lot of cool people and learned a lot. So, um, and it helped my portfolio because I thought
Right.
I had a decent amount, being in AI, but going to Chatham really just like sharpened it like all the way.
Yeah,
Like
facts.
I had a decent amount, but like my portfolio after graduating
You
was
thought
like
you had a
solid.
portfolio till you saw a portfolio.
Yeah,
right. Type
yeah.
shit.
So it sharpened, what I had, and
Mm-hmm.
I took I think like a whole year off after, and freelanced, kind of just
Okay.
like built my connections and did some shows. Um, I was a part of this trip, this influencers trip. It was called iDream. Are you
Okay.
familiar with that by
No, I'm not
chance?
hip.
So it's this company ran by my homie Aaron. What he does is he goes to like prime locations in the United States and invites all of these like major influencers
Okay.
to like, and typically it's like this mansion, like
Mhm.
wherever it's at. Like he would get a mansion, rent out like a bunch of crazy cars, and it was basically like a content house.
Hmm.
And by doing that, and the name I Dream,
Mhm.
it really like helped me dream bigger.
Mhm.
Like being a part of that. So it was honestly really crazy. Like that
Yeah.
whole trip, like 3 days of just nonstop, like,
Just creation, just
mm-hmm.
like solely for man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure that like just even bouncing ideas, just like being in that environment is just super helpful. Just as far as getting your gears turned and shit
mm-hmm.
like that. Like,
Yeah, like it was crazy how much we did in those 3 days because like I didn't sleep. Like
yeah,
I came like on a mission. Like there's models there, photographers, videographers, actors.
everyone trying to eat.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
and I was the first artist to be introduced to you know or being a part of that. And we shot a pilot episode for Netflix.
Oh
And
shit.
yeah, this was around Corona, so like even me
Okay.
going, it was in Miami, so
Okay.
even going out there was like huge risk, but it was fun. Like it really like opened my eyes to like possibilities of like
How
what's
close
to
are they
come.
to picking it up? Netflix.
They didn't. They didn't go anywhere. Like
Mhm.
I don't even know what happened. Honestly,
Yeah.
like after we shot it, I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, like
After
nothing really like
it,
formulated.
yeah. But it's still cool to be a part of
No
it. Like the
facts. I mean, like that
film and
experience. Yeah.
yeah.
Would you do it again?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Like I definitely, having that prior experience, like I know what I'd do different, next time around. Um, but again, it put in perspective like what's to come, and I freelanced a good bit after that, but like I was hitting like dead ends because like it wasn't consistent.
Hmm.
Like I'd have like major projects and 1 month be up, next week I'm down.
Freelancing is just
Yeah.
like like just contract to hire is a it can be a profitable game in some aspects, but like it's just like that consistency like might not always be there. You know what I mean? So like you're just kind of banking on the next job being like the job to hold you over, and just in case of you might get like a new opportunity like the next day, the next week. You know what I mean? But like it's not always gonna be that consistent
nothing's
flow. You know what I mean?
promised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So after realizing like yo, I need like, and I was really like getting hit financially.
I feel that.
And I was like, I need to turn this around. I need something consistent. My mentor, he had told me like, yo, you need to make a LinkedIn, update your resume, and update your portfolio. Once I did all that, I applied to literally only I think only Dick's. Like that was the first spot I seen, first gig. I was like, if I'm gonna do anything, I want to be at a place that I'm gonna enjoy, and also being a former athlete as well. Like just being in that kind of environment
Just made sense.
Like, yeah, it made sense. And I got a call from them and had my interviews, and next thing you know, I'm working for them.
That's hard, man. That's not, man. Shout out to that. So when did like the like the body art shows, the art shows, like when did all that come into play for you?
And it was actually during college.
Okay.
Like, that's when I started doing shows, and you know, I had my first live performance 2019, and it's crazy because I was just talking about this yesterday, but it was at Illegal. You familiar with Illegal
That's here?
Apparel on Southside, the clothing shop?
Oh no! I mean, like it sounds vaguely familiar, but like I never been.
It's like a streetwear brand.
Okay.
Where is it?
That just sounds mad familiar.
It's like right in the beginning. It's like right next to Big Shot Bob's, or not like right next to it, but like.
Okay, I heard of Big Shot Bob's before. Yeah.
It's like a couple doors down. But,
okay.
Yeah, the owner Frank, him and I, you know, we had talked, and I had went to a few of his shows previously, and like they had at that time a recording studio upstairs, so they would always have like listening parties or just like events or shows for the artists, and I was like, man, like this would be dope to have a show here. So like talked to him, and he was with it, and you know, shout out to Frank because like I was very fortunate for that, because that's what like kind of helped me like really break through onto the scene of like Pittsburgh and like getting like recognition. Like I networked a good bit, but like, really, like nobody really knew me all like that. And you know, I had that show, and I presented like a bunch of like new art, and I did a live painting, but I started it upside down.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, if
I think you even did that at I Am Pittsburgh, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
That was dog.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that was hard. I was like, that's crazy. This nigga's playing this shit upside down, but like it's hard upside down. But like you flip it, it's like that's crazy.
I wanted that wow factor.
Yeah. No, that's hard.
So like.
Cause it's a performance though, like too with it, like you're not just like up there painting, like it's just like it's a whole show with it too, like so like that's hard.
Yeah, and just that, like, and what was very pivotal, what was very like essential for my growth and for my career was meeting Baron Batch. Like, he had invited me to the studio like the day before my show, and like going into it, like I took a couple paintings over, and I'm like thinking like, you know, this isn't going to just be me like hanging out with you. Like I want like this is going to be an interview without him even knowing. Like, I just had, like, a whole arsenal of questions. And, you know, one of the key pieces that stuck with me was when I had asked him like, you know, have you ever done any events or live, you know, performances? And he said, yeah, I used to do them all the time. And I was like, well, you know, how do you get through that? Like, what are you thinking about? Or, you know, what's the process like? And he's like, well, you don't really want to like focus too much on what you're painting. Like, I mean, yeah, like do it so like it's right, but like keep in mind that it's a performance. When people are watching you, this is something that they're not gonna like. They don't see on a day-to-day basis or like frequently at all. So like give them something to remember. And when he told me that, that's when I had the idea of like doing it upside down. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's helped, you know, from that point all the way on. Like, you know, whenever I'm painting, like give them something to remember, because I could spend hours on a painting and like that, like people's attention span, as you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could have easily just like, you know, gone up there and like, you know, still painted some dope shit, but just like, you know, got up there, painted, and then bounced. You know what I mean? And like that wouldn't have, I mean, like it would have been like, you know, cool to see like the finished product. But again, like I was saying, like it's a performance. Like people are engaged. Like, oh, like what is he doing? Like it's like a whole, you got the music, like the vibe, like you do like the lighting and shit. So it's like, it's just like a whole kind of just like, you know, vibe. And then like, you know, like we're watching you paint, then it's like, oh, like this shit is upside down. Oh shit, wait, like it's still kind of fire, and then like you start making like, oh wait, now he's going crazy, and then like you flip it around, and it's like, damn. And the fact that like you probably did it in like maybe like 15, 20 minutes or like however long you're up there is like, it's crazy. But for people who don't know, like Baron Batch, he's the former Steelers player, right? Who turned painter.
Yes.
And yeah, he's dope as well,
Yeah.
man. Like, and like I've just people have like mentioned him just like as far as like the art scene. Like I've seen like some of his pieces, man. Like that shit is like really dope. So it's crazy to hear that like you link with him and like that's how you even got the idea. Like that's fire.
No, it was like very inspiring because even his studio was at that time was in Southside.
Okay, yeah.
And like it was pretty big, honestly. And like he had carts of just paint and like he had just paint everywhere, really, and just all these like canvases, and it was like just like a preview again to like what is to come for me, even right and
Type
like,
shit, right?
Like I want that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna get that one day.
Facts, real shit.
And sure
we
enough,
here now, yeah. You hear on the MIC podcast, chopping it the fuck up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Nah. But so like when you're like you're with the models for the bodyguard shows, like was that like a network that you had with them previously? Like, do you just kind of go out and like have an idea for a show of mine and then find the models, or like how do you set that up?
Yeah, so it's pretty much just like that. Like if I have an idea, I've networked a good bit,
Sure, yeah.
throughout all these years. So I've met a lot of, people, women in particular. And it honestly started out with like when, my ex-girlfriend at the time. I was just painting on her, just to spice up the relationship. Do something, like
Young
different,
Spice, Young Spice Lord.
Yeah, keeping it fresh, and also doing what I love. So,
yeah, facts.
I started with that and just like small scale, and it expanded after coming across this artist and who is my friend now, John Bourne. He's actually the one that invited me to Miami for Art Basel.
Okay, yeah. And like I think like I remember you mentioning him, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him doing body art and I was like, I could do that.
Yeah. Let me tap into that real quick. Yeah, right. Yeah.
His stuff is very conceptual.
Okay.
To where it's like, I was doing it again, like I'd paint on a cheek or like paint on an arm or something.
Yeah.
But I never really did like a full body. So when I was at Chatham, that's when it started rolling. Like, we're like friends and women in my life. Like, I was just like, hey, you want to get painted on?
Yeah, right.
Like, I wanted to like
consensually.
Really, yeah. It was very professional.
Yeah,
well.
right.
Like no funny business.
Yeah.
But it started like that, just like in the basement, just. I would have a concept, and I really wanted to work with, my model's body. So like sometimes I would have an idea prior, but then like after looking at their physique and just all the shapes and just different sizes, that concept will change. So I try to do something that's going to work with their body.
Okay.
Rather than just like putting it on there. And then, from there, just kind of like, after doing it a few times and, word got out, and I was very hesitant to even showcase it.
Okay,
like
yeah, that's interesting. Okay, yeah.
My platforms.
Interesting, okay.
I have sisters as well. So
yeah,
like,
right.
I didn't know how they would, take to it. And, after I did it, I had asked them, and like, granted, like, I try not to get sucked into like people's opinions.
Sure, yeah.
Like, what they got to say.
Family's a little different though.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It hits different. So after speaking with my mom about it, surprisingly enough, she actually loved it.
Oh shit!
And once I got that, and like
now we lit. Now we go over. Okay, we're booking you. Let's do this for that. You're Wednesday. Yeah.
Even like I showed my grandmas, and
wow,
like they loved it. Like,
that's beautiful though, man.
It was really crazy. So I was like,
okay. How liberating was that though? Because like because that hesitancy, like I definitely get it. Like it's like it's kind of like a touchy subject. You know what I mean? Like like even just like, but it's dope and I like it. You know what I mean? But like and like what I'm showcasing is fire, and then like to be able to bring that to them and like just be able to free like we got the okay from us. Shit is fire. Go do your thing, man. Like now your wins can just now you don't have to like have that in like the back of your mind, because like I know how that can be just as far as like I don't care what people think, but like mom, grandma's different, like, and like I don't want to hide this part of myself like all the time around. You know what I mean? So like that's like liberating as fuck.
It is, and I always tell people like this. It's um, the way I do it is to shine light on not only like my model, because like women are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like the best subject matter for me, honestly. Like, but how I present it is in a very professional, and elegant, and tasteful manner, and presentation overall. It's not just a picture.
Right.
I like to create like a story with it, or have like really dope edits leading up to it.
Facts.
And just really like make it
art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like art on art.
Mm-hmm.
Really. So
Damn, yeah, art squared. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, word up.
Yeah.
The double art. Now that's fire. So speak on the piece that you created for Erica Fontaine. Like, how did that opportunity come about? And like, just speak on that.
Man, where was I? I was actually went to like a boat party in West Virginia.
Okay.
That's where she's from, and she did.
Erica Fontaine from West Virginia?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know if
okay.
that's where she's from, but that's where she went to school. She,
gotcha. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
She
Okay.
did, gymnastics, and
interesting.
she was raw.
Okay.
So it was like meeting like her friends and whatnot. Like, I got curious. Like, saw her page. I was like, yo, like she's beautiful, and like, perfect subject matter.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Saw this really dope photo of her, and I created it. It was, I don't know if you've seen it, it's the one of like her in like ballet shoes, but like hunched over.
Yeah, I peeped that joint.
So I did that a couple years back, and like
okay, so like just to paint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay,
and I just wanted to give it to her, and in hopes like also receive like a shout out or something.
Yeah. Fair.
Huge following, and whatchamacallit, nothing came about with it until last year. Like, it came back up because she was I think she was going to be hosting at some party. It was for like the backyard brawl.
Backyard brawl.
Pitt and
Okay.
So, I had messaged her again. I was like, hey, like I did this piece of you. Like, can I, bring it to you? And she was all for it. She's like, yeah, like, she's like, there's gonna be an after party at Controversy, which is, a gentleman's club.
Yeah.
And,
shout out to the gentleman.
I was like, all right, I'll pull up.
Yeah.
And
come check it out, see what's up.
Yeah. By the way, I recommend not going there. It's just trash. It was so trashy.
Filled with controversy.
Yeah. Like, this is it. Like, this sucks.
Yeah, that's a dude up there, by the way. I'm not sure if y'all caught that. Like,
there was only like, I don't know, like 3 sections and like 1 pole. Like, I don't know.
Damn.
Like,
it
was small.
Yeah.
So she told me to pull up there, and I pulled up with a group of homies, and like waited for like almost 2 hours. And I was like, man, like I'm about to slide. Like, I was with my homie Artie.
Okay,
was,
word.
He was the one
yeah.
that
Okay.
stayed with me.
Shout out to Artie, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to Artie.
real,
Yeah.
he a real one. Because I was like, bro, like, you want to leave? Like, we should leave.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm on whatever you're on, B. I'm like, I'm tired. Like,
Yeah.
I want to leave. So
Yeah.
we started driving home, and like literally get to like the halfway point, and she texts me. She's like, I'm here. Where you at? I looked at Art. He looked at me.
Just turn the
He's
whip
like,
around.
Yeah. Turned it around. And what's really dope about this story is that that whole week actually was like really crazy.
Mhm.
Like, that was the week I got a piece to Wiz.
Okay.
I was at Mac Miller's memorial with the Mac piece.
Okay. Damn.
And,
okay.
Like, got a crazy amount of exposure from that.
That was a wild week for you.
Yeah, and that was also the same week of the I Am Pittsburgh Festival.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Damn,
so it was like
that all happened
was
in like
a week.
consecutively. Like,
Yes,
that's
like
crazy.
within like days time.
That's wild.
So, like, I was on this like, crazy high for real. So when I pulled up, I'm about to walk in, and D-Ham, he was outside with James Conner.
Oh shit.
And
DM DeMar Hamlin?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
so
Okay.
I had met him when I got a piece to Antonio Brown.
Wow. Oh wait, no, yeah, you did. That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Damn, bro. That's fucking wild, bro. Like I'm not even sure if we have time to just like talk about how. But like, how did you even like just start doing those high profile pieces? Like,
I see. Relevance is key as an artist, you know.
Yeah.
So like, I heard he was in town, and um, I had spoke with the owners of Enclave and worked a deal out with them, and um, you know, just pulled up with the piece. And mind you, I did that piece in a day
That's crazy.
with my fingers.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
But D-Ham, I had met him there.
Okay.
And
The same night that Eric was at the spot, or was it a
no, for
different
the
night?
Antonio Brown.
Got you.
thing.
Okay,
So this is
got
how
you,
I was gonna
got you.
loop back around. Sorry,
Okay,
I'm,
got
like,
you. No, no,
going
no,
on
no,
a
no, no, no.
tangent.
I love it though. Yeah.
But when I was in the room with AB and all them, D-Ham, he had came up to me and he shook me up and he's like, "You're the next Picasso."
Mm.
And I looked at him. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Picasso, Basquiat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much a fan of Basquiat. And
Facts.
I like a lot of like his style is like
Yeah, no,
like a
Basquiat's
little
definitely
like what I have going
it's
on,
fire.
like the colors and whatnot. But when he said that, I was like, wow, I really appreciate that. And I didn't even know who he was at the time. Like I didn't know he was a football player or anything. But we started talking, and you know, he got my number, and he had asked me for a piece, and you know, we're texting for a little bit. Nothing came from it. But looping back around, he had locked eyes with me, and he's like, "What's up, B?" And I was like, "What's up?" Like, so it was like kind of crazy feeling.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'm like, man, I'm really like getting recognition right now.
Facts.
From an NFL player who happens to remember me, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
and I'm in the circle with him, and as we're talking, this other dude popped up out of nowhere. He's like, "You're the one that did that AB piece." I'm like, "I am," like, you know. And
Yeah.
that's when we all started talking about art and whatnot. But I was like, "Yo, I gotta get inside. Like, I'll chop it with you later," because like it was already late, and like I didn't know how much time I had with Erica.
Yeah.
So I went in there, and right when I walked in, the girl that was working like doing IDs or whatever, she's like, "You're the guy that did the Cosmo mural," and I was like, "I am."
Yeah, yeah.
And she let me in for free, and I was like, "That's pretty dope."
That's fire.
Walked in, and I had the piece, and as soon as I showed Erica, like she flipped, and like man, I just like got like a lot of love from that.
That's
and,
hard, man.
Come to find out, like that was the same section that D-Ham and James Conner was going into. So
Look
like
at
I'm in
God,
this section
bro.
with all
Yeah,
these,
but like for real though, man.
Yeah.
Like you're right where you're supposed to be. It sounds like
yeah,
for real.
it's really a blessing.
Nah, that
honestly,
shit is crazy.
Like,
How are we on time? I'm good. All right, cool. Speak. Because like I mean, that just kind of let everyone know, like your background and just portfolio up to this point in art is crazy. But like, I mean, you have dumb titles. Like you also are the founder of CND. You know what I mean? So like, speak on that journey and how did that come together?
man, it
And
really
just like for anyone who doesn't know, like, what is CND?
So CND stands for Creators Next Door, and it came about when I honestly manifested it like years ago. Like I knew I was gonna have a space big enough for other people to come and collaborate. Like I didn't want to just have a studio. I wanted it to be a decent size, and just like a place where I can get messy with paint, you know. So it came about after I did a show at Cosmo.
Okay.
I can't remember which one, because I was in a few of their shows, like their like events. I think it was maybe the '90s party.
That's always a vibe. Like I never been in like a '90s party, bro. Like I need to for real.
We were
for
thinking
real.
about throwing one. We should probably
Dog-
do that. Yeah,
Dog.
Let's
nah.
let's collab on that.
Nah, the next joint has, bro. It has to
Yeah.
be. That would go up.
Yeah,
like
it'd go
that would be
stupid.
crazy. Like that vibe would be
Yeah.
dumb. But nah, continue.
No, remind me after.
Yeah,
this.
nah,
I'm
facts.
definitely gonna put that in my notes.
Definitely.
So let me backtrack a little bit, because I like as a side gig, I was a photo booth operator.
Oh, okay.
I'd pull up to like events such as like weddings, bar mitzvahs, like anything from like a grand scale to like a backyard party.
Sure.
And while doing that, I met who was my friend, and who was one of actually the other how should I say it? Damn. Her name is Crystal. She
Mhm.
does event planning and decorating.
Okay.
Um, I met her at one of these events, and didn't really. It's crazy, like how again those blessings in disguise,
Because
like
like
that.
you'll meet someone, be like, okay, and like just like not even register, and then maybe
They
like
pop back up.
a month later, be like they're like not only pop back up, but be like a key link to
Yeah.
certain things. Like that shit
Yeah,
is
she really
crazy.
was like, and shout out to Crystal. She's
Hell yeah.
the reason why like this was able to come about. Cause like after it was years actually later seeing her again. It was at
Damn.
the Cosmo event, and she recognized me, and I recognized her as well. We started talking, just small talk, and then like I want to say that same week, she was like, hey, my husband and I, like, we have an office space, and we're looking to, rent it out, and I think you'd be the perfect person for that. And I was like, all right, like, at that time I really like didn't have that much money or like really even like I had a plan for what I wanted to do, but I really didn't.
What were you thinking about like at the time of doing like?
I just wanted to do murals.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to do more shows and do more murals. I wanted to like do larger work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I was thinking like she said office space. I'm thinking like cubicles and like
Yeah.
very generic. But
Yeah.
like,
Facts.
when I pulled up, I was like, whoa.
Like this is a space, but it ain't office space.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Right.
I'm like, okay, now this I could get down with. And originally it was the agreement was having just like one office and half of that space.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, and for like a set price. And I was like, well, how much for all of it? She told me. I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also in that moment, I was like thinking like, I don't want to do this alone. Like,
Okay.
I want to have, like I want to build a team.
Sure.
And that's where like Trey came in, and then Artie came in, and then just slowly it just like, it got to this point.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
We just hit the ground running, and we wanted to do something that was different. And personally, my thing is also like giving back, like helping people that aren't as fortunate. Because I was that kid, just in the basement, wanting to be a part of something bigger, and to have a bigger space. So like that is the goal still, is to like help others, elevate their brands or the creativity or collab with them, So
Dog, and I even want to just give you your flowers now, cause like that event that you threw last year, man, like October, like that was y'all's first joint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dog, I think that was a very pivotal, just gathering, event just for the creative scene in Pittsburgh, bro. If you were there. If you were there, but like that's also a factor, bro. Cause like I feel like y'all have like a certain layer, and I like build this certain culture where it's like if you know, and like that buzz is just gonna start to really formulate. It's like, yo, like have y'all heard about the? Yeah, but I can never get an RSVP link. Like, what's up? Like you got. I feel like that's where y'all are headed with that. And that first event was just like a real like. You had to be there.
Yeah.
Like, you just had to be there, man. Like, I could talk till I'm blue in the face. I could talk, like, I could describe you what the lights was like till I'm blue in the face, bro. But you just had to get, like, a real taste of that, bro. Like, and really be there.
It blew my mind, honestly.
That
like,
shit was fire, bro. And, like, props to y'all. And, like, props to you for even,
Thank
like,
you.
setting that up. And that shit was hard.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
man. It was, man, like, the weeks prior to that was like
dumb stressful,
crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Like I was doing shoots like every day to make the promo video.
Okay.
I had meetings every other day about planning it. And it really like tested, just everything about me like that. Like, it like brought out a different person. Like made me understand like it's going to work because you're putting in that work.
Yeah.
Right. And that determination, like I'm gonna present this and do this like no other. So like I don't know, like it was really crazy. And so during the show, even like I really didn't like, it didn't hit me like even like how many people was there, and like because I was just on go. Like I had 5 models that I had to coordinate with.
As well as like the artists that performed as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
it was a lot of coordinating and planning. And
like, bro, that shit was special, man. Like, for real. Like, I mean, just like even just like some of the performances that like, you know, like it was just like it was a lot of moments for the artists too. Like, it's just like a lot of them maybe like haven't performed in such like an intimate crowd, but it was dense. Like, it was like it wasn't like shoulder to shoulder where like you couldn't move, but like it was a lot of people, and like you got that feeling of like, yo, like I'm about to perform in front of some fucking like a room full of people right now, like a room full of, like, you know, people that want to hear some art, and like people were just open to hearing new stuff, or just like, you know, seeing new acts, and then just like seeing the new, you know, just creative outlets that people were willing to do on stage, man, and just the energy flowing through, you know, niggas dressed to the night, like, you know what I mean? Like that shit was hard.
That was the goal, like, you know, to shed light on those that really needed it.
Absolutely.
You know, that night was for a few performers, like their first performance. You know,
real shit. You know,
and they killed. Everybody killed it, man. Like, it was really a blessing to be a part of that. You know, let alone like obviously like I coordinated it, but just to be a part of that and then seeing it after, you know, like going through the footage and like making the recap. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy.
And like we pulled that off. Like we pulled that the fuck off. Like
I don't know, like a few weeks time.
That's crazy.
It was only like I remember talking to my dad, like, you know, about because he's always like wondering like what's my next move, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have an event, you know, and my birthday is the 10th, so like I planned it like
October 10th.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I planned it as like a, you know, grand opening, showcase, and like birthday celebration.
Okay. That's hard.
But I know I didn't want it to make it only about me. Like that's why I wanted to bring in like other artists. Like, I could have done my own thing and, you know, displayed my art, but like by bringing in other people,
those other elements
created that unique experience.
It was a moment, bro.
Yeah.
It was a moment. Like that's like a moment in like the timeline. Like boop. Like there it is. Like that first C&D joint had to be there, bro. So just like with you know the people that have like, you know, joined the movement like up to this point, like is it I don't want to say difficult, but like how do you manage all those creative personalities under one, you know, roof like that?
It was tough in the beginning. Like, you know, there was a lot of people that were, you know, coming around, and it's like, okay, like
nigga, who are you? Let's just keep it a bean. Who are you?
Yeah, yeah, for real. And it's like, well, there's got to be intent and like
exactly right.
There's got to be purpose, you know, for all of us coming together. So we scheduled weekly meetings on Wednesdays.
Okay.
And we started a group chat to keep everybody involved. And we would, you know, have our topics and, you know, whatever, you know, we wanted to discuss, we'd, you know, discuss and let anybody else, you know, bring their ideas to the table. But it you know, it was a challenge, and it still is, because, you know, everybody has their life going on.
Absolutely.
And, you know, like, you know, I have my own stuff and whatnot, but, you know, it's still evolving.
Sure.
You know, and like we haven't quite figured it out yet because we're still building as well. So it's just trying to keep everybody in the loop, more or less. Because like, although I would love for everybody to be there, you know, like every day and like collaborate, like I also love my alone time, you know, and my time to think,
decompress.
Yeah, and like not be around anybody. Like I'll go through days where I'm just like I want to isolate myself.
Yeah,
I don't want to see nobody. I want to talk to nobody.
Bro, everyone has those. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like everyone has those, like, you know, little moments, because, you know, you don't want to get burned out of some shit, like, you know, like you fuck with. You know what I mean? It's like you have to step away and like just refresh and shit like that. So I definitely get that. What you think is missing in the creative scene, not just like, you know, in painting, but just like in the creative scene in Pittsburgh, even in Ohio, man, just like, cause like, you know, like you know, grew up there, and like, what do you think maybe the disconnect as to why like people may not, you know, think of these, well, more recently, like I think Pittsburgh has kind of edged itself into the conversation of like, nah, there's a hub of talent like here that's untapped. But as far as Ohio goes, and like what are the differences between Ohio and Pittsburgh's creative scene that like you've seen?
I'd have to say events.
Okay.
Like, you know, or, you know, art shows or exhibitions, if you will. But yeah, like bringing people in to, you know, acknowledge that there are creatives, you know, like there was nothing organized or orchestrated to showcase, artists. And like even out here, like you have that, like they're in spurts.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
a few galleries and whatnot, but like that's where I'm trying to change that. Where like
Absolutely.
yeah, I can do my own thing, but my goal is to help others and inspire and build, because it's only going to go back. It's going to
It's
go
an
full circle.
ecosystem. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an ecosystem.
So I think really it's just you know hosting more events or putting showcasing more work with other creatives and shedding that light on them. Because again, like where I'm from, like I've never been to an art event. Like you would have to go to Cleveland if you wanted to go even see art, like at a
Damn.
museum. So I think that's like one of the biggest things, like that needs to continue, like having like these shows and not just like solo shows, but like as a collective.
Has it grown at all since you've been here? Like has it changed? Would you say,
Um,
or like has it just
I'm
like kind of like remained in like the same
I'm sure it has.
mm,
I just don't think I was even like involved enough.
to
You
like
know.
even chime in on that? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think like the and this was my first show out here actually. It was and this was from a company that wasn't even from Pittsburgh, but they go by or the organization is called Raw Artists,
Okay.
and they had it at a place in the I think it was the Strip District. It was like this huge like I think it was like a factory or some kind of warehouse or something, but like it was empty, so like they rented that out, and there was probably over I don't know like 50 to 70 artists
Mm.
there. Like there was a downstairs and upstairs, and there was like I want to say easily like 1,000 people there. Like
Damn.
it was huge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was honestly insane. But you don't see that like often.
Facts.
Like
Yeah. Right.
I don't even think they've came back since. And the only other art show that there really is out here is the Three Rivers in
Okay.
the summer.
Okay. Damn. And that's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's huge.
Okay.
Like that would actually I would say that's bigger than the Raw Artist event, but like
Okay.
because like they shut down streets for that. And,
Damn.
like, they set up all over. Like there's a ton of artists that are in that, and they build a stage down at the point. Like they have live art, musicians and singers and whatnot down there. But other than that, like there's really nothing else that really comes to mind unless
Yeah,
I'm just
like
out
how
of
it.
the loop.
No,
you
no, no,
know?
no, no. I feel you not because like I definitely just wanted you to know because like it seems like just like in like the time you've been here, you may not know, but you've made an impact. You know what I mean? Like whether you like know it or not, like people knowing you from like your pieces. I mean like, Damar Hamlin not just like locking eyes with just any nigga saying yo what's up, like you know what I mean, like so yeah. No, I just wanted your opinion, just like from being someone who's not from Pittsburgh originally, but like moved here and like made an impact. So like I just wanted your thoughts on that. But the XXX piece that you just posted on IG, that shit was crazy.
Thank
That
you.
shit was hard. Was that for anything in particular, or was that just like you getting your shit off? Like
No, just pure inspiration, just
Okay.
from his music. I watched his documentary as well, and
Okay.
like had me in like a whirlpool of emotion. Like on one hand, I was like feeling it, like really happy and inspired. The other hand, like sad and just like disappointed, and then back to motivated. And it's just like so when I'm feeling something and it moves me, that's what I have to create.
I feel it.
Like, and I had to act on it. And like his music has been very inspiring for me, just like 'cause I've like gone through my little ruts of just like being down or thinking negatively or whatever. But like listening to his music definitely has like helped. It's kind of crazy because what's really crazy is he's gone.
I know.
Which really sucks.
Because like he would have been just like a force. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just like a pillar creatively for sure, especially for
Yeah.
like our generation of like
Mm-hmm.
creatives or just people in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
and he speaks a lot about like depression and like suicide and like like self harm and all that, and he put it in a way where it's like you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to feel like that, but no, harming yourself is not the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not to get like too deep, but
Mm-hmm.
I lost my brother to suicide.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you. So that you know is where like a lot of like my dark like thoughts come from sometimes, like thinking about that and like thinking like how it's impacted my life and just him not being here. Um, so like what I took from X was like being vocal about it, and like I don't know if you've seen the piece I actually did of my brother recently. I did like a video.
I
for him
did.
as
No, yeah,
well.
I did. Catch it on IG. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's something I want to talk more out, like, and like shed more light on, because like I feel like it just gets swept under the rug, or like you'll hear about it, and like, or it's like something that is like not taken as serious as like it should.
Right.
Like you'll hear like people say, "Oh, like I wish I would have known," or like I didn't see the signs or whatever. But like,
You never gonna really truly see the signs for real.
yeah,
Like, not if like the person don't want you to see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
mm-hmm.
that shit, man. Like, you never get rid of depression as far as like you're like it's always just gonna be like you're always just gonna have to have the tools to combat it within yourself. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like you got to be the one to calm those waters. Like I've dealt with depression in my life. At various points. You know what I mean? And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like if it's a part of you, it's there. You just have to know how to deal with it, navigate it. You know what I mean? Just like do the things to kind of get you out of that,
Yeah.
state. Not saying it's easy at all,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's why like it's like doing these things may take a lot out of you,
Yeah.
but it's a very necessary thing, and yeah, man. Some people it's just the only thing you can hope is that like they found whatever freedom they were searching for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That like they couldn't achieve here. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But I got one more question for you, man, before we get you out of here, bro. So what like kind of like a little two-parter. What's an ideal CND event look like for you? And then where do you see, just CND like as like the conglomerate, the movement, in like the future, like let's say like 5 years, just to give like a mental spot.
That's a good one. Um, Definitely see us, expanding to the point where, like you said, it's like earlier, like you got RSVP, I can't get
Yeah,
one.
facts,
Like
right.
something that's like very exclusive and like if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want it to be like a secret either.
Right.
Like I
You want to be accessible but exclusive, like
yes,
type
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
So definitely getting to a point where it's like we got line out the door,
Mm-hmm.
and people itching for like the next one or wanting to be a part of it or be featured in it. So expanding, with more artists, more creatives, entrepreneurs, and like-minded people to create something special every time, something unique, something that you've never really experienced before. And like that's for me like what I've done all my life is like how like I try to figure out how can I push this like to be something different, like just a different perspective, um, and just make it something memorable, because that's really all we have in this life. It's like we live and then we die, but it's in that time of us being here. Like, what are you going to do that's going to be memorable and you know build your legacy? Like
Mm-hmm.
are you gonna be like just a person that kind of went through life, just like floating, or are you gonna actually make an impact?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my goal is to impact as many as I can while I'm here, and hopefully inspire that the next one to maybe pick up a pencil or a paintbrush or just try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all capable of being successful.
Right.
It's really just having that determination and knowing like it may not work out the first time around, or maybe I try this but I don't like it. It doesn't have to stop there. Just like pick something else up and truly finding something that you love to do on a day-to-day basis, or even just love in general, and doing it for you, but also gaining financially from it, and making a career out of it.
Sure.
Where, they say if you do something you love, it's really not work.
Nah,
you know,
that's a
and
whole fact.
that's what I'm here to do, is just inspire. So I hope our shows just get bigger, and we're able just to help build more community.
Nah, I think y'all are right on track with that, bro. So, Beez, man, thank you so much for fucking sitting down and doing this. I mean, like, I feel like people learned a lot about you just through this whole conversation, man. Like that they might not have known. So I think it's real dope, man. If you got anything coming up, just with C&D yourself, anything that like you want to promote, bro, the floor is yours, man. Where they can find on socials and all that good stuff, man. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for
absolutely, bro.
This great opportunity. I was telling Mike, this is my first time being on a podcast.
Oh, for real? This is your first pod?
Yeah,
I mean, bro. I mean, it's not really like a traditional podcast, but I mean, bro, like you smoked this, so
Thank
you smoked it.
Thank you. Yeah, even just in this like kind of setting, like the whole time, or like on my way here, I was just like, I was talking to God, and I was just like being very grateful to even just do this and just be a part of something bigger than myself, and to collaborate with y'all. And so yeah, thank you again. But yeah, upcoming, actually we have our vendor events that are going to be coming up. We're going to be starting that in April, and it's called Divine Energy, and we're going to, like how we touch base on just like help other entrepreneurs and small businesses or larger businesses expand, and utilize our space to get the word out for whatever you're doing, and I lost my train of thought.
No, you're all
That
good.
was so good. Yeah, so our vendor events, and then we're also going to have another art event coming up soon, and more work to come.
Yeah. Where can I find you on socials?
You can find all of my socials on Instagram at BeezDesigns_. My website is Designed by Beez, and then Creators Next Door also on Instagram.
All right, man. Yo,
Yeah.
Beez, thank you so much for
man.
joining us,
Thank
bro. MIC Podcast, episode 72. Golly, man. Community and content, man. Beez in the fucking building. We out. Peace.